What's going on, everybody? This is going to be a review on Scott J's Smackdown vs. Raw 2006 Definitive Edition video game mod. And here's where I'm going to talk the good, the great, the amazing, and of course, the very, very minor negatives of this video game, right? And of course, I don't pull no punches, so there are going to be one negative. Well, not even that, just more of a curiosity, we'll say. So let's get into it, right? Here's the good / great. So upon playing this game, the biggest selling point for most was the major roster expansion, and spanning about 3 years, I think he said, in his videos discussing the mod itself. The biggest selling point for me, and those who know me know exactly what it is the GM mode, right? The expansion in the GM mode, but I'll get to that. So, first you have the story mode, which of course are the Who Did It storyline with Teddy Long, and then there's the feud with Triple H, and then the rest that goes on. Now, there's not a lot to say, but I will say I played the story mode with Christian on the first version. This was before the recent update with the classic cam, which was cool considering Christian had his logos and Scott even threw in his white attire. I mean, this guy's a legend. Guys, it's official. So I think it's really cool, and if you're a story mode fan, you get to enjoy it with the extra characters and extra attires. As I mentioned, the roster is huge, but that's not all. Almost every character has a secondary attire, and badass ones at that. The Rock has his Hollywood look, Bobby Lashley has his debut attire, Randy Orton has his SummerSlam 2004 attire. Not a bad selection of alternatives at all, especially if you want to recreate some of your favorite matches. I really do appreciate what he did here, adding the wrestlers that were around during that time period, around 3 years prior. And I believe his final update is going to include 6 other characters, and that I'm certainly looking forward to, mostly for one certain character. In the next update, you may get the optional no-cap GM mode signings, which means you get to sign as many people as you want, but I'm not here for that. I'm here because, Scott, my man, you did it. GM mode is amazing. Since the update, I now have a tag team division with a very solid, effective set of tag teams. I have had matches with the Legion of Doom, Booker T and Goldust, the Hardy Boys, Matt Hardy and Christian, the Dudley Boys, Randy Orton and Jake Roberts, Eminem. That is just my sample list of tag teams that I have, right? And then I have a good mid cards, right? And I have a good set of main eventers. And it's just so fun to have people feud against each other. Hollywood Rock with Roddy Piper, Bret Hart against Bobby Lashley. I legit played the retail version, right? And I had fun for, how many years. But when I played this version, and then I went back to the retail version, I can't say that I had as much fun. I'll be honest with you. I felt spoiled, and that's a good thing. The accuracy of the roster. This is the last thing I want to talk about. It is a slight double-edged sword here. And this is the minor negative that I was talking about. But like I said, not really a negative, more of just a curiosity. So the whole premise for Scott J's Definitive Edition video games is that he is adding wrestlers that did not make the cut that were there during that time period. Now, I'm not sure if maybe there's a capacity of superstars that you can add. I'm sure there are. So I'm not going to be too negative about it, especially when it's not really a negative, more as it's, again, a curiosity. The roster is amazing, but it did leave to question some of the guys that were left out. For instance, we have A-Train, and don't get me wrong, I love having A-Train on the game, but we have him, yet we don't have Brian Kendrick to complete Paul London. There's also no Victoria from what I've seen. Now, I'm not going to pick too much on who he did and didn't include, because I still love and am eternally grateful for the fact that I even get to play this game. But it does leave me curious and all. Maven, for example, is a cool addition and all, but not someone I'm really going to be jumping up and down for. Unless you have Big Evil Undertaker. Well, in that case, let's have some fun. But, like I was saying, if you're going to include someone like, let's say, Brock Lesnar, then I think you should include Goldberg too. But with all that being said, I still think the roster expansion was accurate to a T, and I really like Luther Reigns, for example, going to be included into the game, as well as I believe he said Kenzo Suzuki and Jackie Data. So, honestly, it really is a good game to get. So in conclusion, if you get this game, you're not going to want to go back to the retail version. Keep in mind, the retail version is the version I've always played from 2005 to this day.
To this day!
So when you add the definitive edition on top of this, it's just... you're not going to even care what 2K does anymore, because it's way too fun. I don't even care what 2K does anymore. This is way too fun. And I have something that has my attention, but I'm just speaking for myself. And who knows, maybe Scott J might have another Smackdown vs. Raw 2006 project coming down the line. Who knows? So, thank you all for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to drop a comment, like, and subscribe for more content that you may or may not want to see me do in the future. I'm your host, Eduardo Betancourt, and this was my video.